Hello, YouTuber woofers. It's the Jeepers. August is almost over, huh? What a quick month this has been. August 23rd, 2 days after the eclipse. Um, and it's 76. Yesterday it was almost 90. The day before that it was like in the 70s. I want to show you something that I recently got myself. My chiropractor was recommending it. So it's called a vertical mouse. And this is for left-handers, and you have them for right. And I kind of have them for both, but they don't really work. And so the purpose for this is to rotate the hand more vertical, because when you're like this for a long time, you tend to develop problems in the wrist. I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. And so a chiropractor was talking about it. This doesn't do a really It doesn't bring it all the way up to vertical. You really want the wrist to be as vertical, and then it takes all that stress off of the wrist and the arm and the elbow. But it's better. I think if you pay the $90 for a mouse, this one was 20 or 29, one of the two off of Amazon. But I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. The buttons are in the same place. You can get the five buttons just make my fingers be in places they don't need to be. Um, so I've pretty much settled into it. So you might look into that if you have any issues, because you're using a mouse that's on a flat surface for an extended period of time, or you're doing editing. Now that I've been learning Final Cut Pro and Photoshop, I'm spending more time in front of the computer than I already do. And, you know, you tend to, you tend to pick it up a little bit more on the wrists. And so I just look into it. I got mine off of Amazon. They have a pretty big selection, and there's a pretty big range. I think that the more vertical it is, the more expensive they are, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But um, just take a look at it, Google it, or do a search for it, and look into them yourself. They don't do good for going into a briefcase, but you never know. If you're a pack rat like me, you'll have room in your briefcase. So I wanted to share you this week's SOTU Tuesday. Um, Monday, we did a recording of our shows that we do for conversations at SOTU. Um, if you watched the one that just got posted, the new format is Adrian and SOTU are having a conversation, and it's pretty cool. Monday, the TV station was recording the eclipse on an extra camera, so we were able, and they were doing it live on the cable station. We were able to tap into that feed and put it into the video. It probably won't be for a couple of weeks before he posts it, that particular video, because they're a little behind on their weeks. But it was kind of cool. Of course, when you have something as creative, I have to get my beard trimmed. That you know, get technical glitches. We had technical glitches, and you know, it added to the fun. So much fun. But it was kind of cool. Another feature I learned to put in a video into the picture. So, over see in this spot over here, I could have a little insert of a video uh, while it's live recording, which is kind of cool. Of course, you could do things like that in editing software, but it's kind of cool to be able to switch in something like that um, on the fly. So that worked out fairly well. I only blocked SOTU's face once. So, uh, um, so I'm going to share this week's SOTU Tuesday, which doesn't have any pictures of the eclipse, but you certainly have seen probably more than your share of them. But they do talk a little bit about the energy, and it's a good listen to. I also want to put a plug in for this Friday's conversations, live conversations with SOTU that you could sign up with through their website, and it's only like $25, and you can go in on Skype and join the conversation. You can just listen, or you can ask questions. It's not recorded, so you don't have to worry about, anything you say being brought up, and you probably don't even have to turn your video camera on if you don't want to, or you can wear a mask. Just don't make it, I don't know. It's your choice. I don't want to wish to pass judgment upon these people that wear masks to protests. You kind of think that, maybe there should be a law about covering your face at a protest, because if you're going to harm other people, there should be a way to record you and prosecute you if the person you harm wishes to do that. Hiding behind a mask, that's a real brave thing to do. That's showing your integrity when you have to hide your identity behind a mask. We're gonna take you seriously when you don't want us to know who you really are. But don't get me started on that. That whole thing was stupid. Everybody's basing the world on that Charleston disaster, and you had a mayor that told the police to stand down. You had protesters that were getting paid $25 an hour to show up with weapons and all kinds of stuff. It was just, if it was a movie, people probably would be looking at it differently. But it wasn't a movie. It was real life. People probably don't even think it was real. Maybe they think it was staged on a stage show, but it wasn't. It was real life. Real people were disgracing other people, and they didn't care about dignity. They didn't care about dignity. And the whole point of all this is about dignity, and moving to a position of peace. I could go on for 20 minutes talking about my distaste for that whole event. And, every politician is being judged on the actions of a mayor, a cowardly mayor that didn't keep peace during a protest, as opposed to being differently done in Boston, where they did keep the peace. They started up, they squashed it out. They didn't just let it build and build. So, and that's all for now. I'm going to put a link for SOTU Tuesday down at the bottom, and give it a watch. If you feel adventurous, join us on Friday. Should be a fun time. And, you don't have to talk about things about politics. If you could talk about personal growth stuff. Particularly personal growth stuff is what we're all benefiting on. But if you have some question, that may not go too far deeply on political stuff, but they have a way of cutting through the crap and helping you with some personal growth stuff that you might be having some challenges with. So that's it for now, and keep growing.